So, when we last left our heroes, actually, let's shift around the map here, guys. We were over here, so now we go, and we zoom in. There, take a sharper look. All right.
Oh boy,
So, as you guys remember, you just kind of busted your way in through this door or cracked it in far enough to get to...
I managed to wake up everything dangerous.
To
be fair, you chainsawed a door, so
I mean,
you really couldn't expect anything different.
It was exciting.
You have with you Karshaw. Techevez was in here, his sister. Mm-hmm. She's got one non-functional arm, but she still has 3 to go.
Because spiders.
And the howl of pinwolves alerted to your presence, despite your incredibly stealthy activities.
It was either that or punch down the door.
Okay, so what you have here, this building relatively somewhat smaller. The library area here, just books everywhere.
In a library?
Also some crates that apparently were being filled by the crew from the
One Armed Scissor.
From the One Armed Scissor. They tried to board up and or shutter most of the windows. This guy over here isn't quite closed all the way, and this one obviously not closed all the way. The rest of them are a little bit more secure. You have, because they don't know where exactly you are, the noise woke them up, but they're still trying to figure out. So you have a moment or two, a minute or two, as they're trying to sort this thing out. So my question is, what are you doing? Are you prepping? I want to open the doors here because you can talk to Techevez. You can see if there's anything of value that you can stuff into a rucksack before the shit hits the fan.
I'm thinking probably partially that, but also I want to check the contents of my bait bandolier and see if I have anything that might be able to distract the wolves that I can just be like, yeet, run the other way.
Well, the problem with run the other way is this thing is still hanging several hundred feet above where you need to get to, which is away.
Yes.
So that's a problem. So what I want to do is a really, really brief montage of you guys going around and showing what are you doing as almost like a montage of prepping or just actions that you're taking, that kind of thing. Oh, hey, that reminds me. Guys, I forgot something again last time.
You're great at this.
Going around the table, Petrichor. What is the thing that you remember the most about what you accomplished last session?
Chain tightrope.
Chain tightrope. Lock that one away.
That's what they call me in the streets.
Chain tightrope.
Yep.
Nice. Charybdis, what do you remember most about?
Breaking down a door and the immediate howling that followed.
Breaking and entering.
Breaking, entering, and naturally howling.
I too howl when I break and enter.
Ooh.
That's alpha male behavior.
So Saturniidae, what do you remember most from what do you remember yourself doing most from last session? What sticks with you?
Whisper.
The whisper that she used.
Hey, no, that's my.
Do you think that you want to try to recover any of those marks that are on your belt? You could take some of the stuff that's in the drinking horn and mix it with some of the ink from the thing and turn it into something that the pinwolves aren't going to like. And maybe...
I mean, I could certainly attempt it. Yes.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
So recovery roll is... Ooh, I'm not sure if you have the stuff that you need for this. Recovery can be... Yeah, you probably don't have the right skill to... Unless you have Rockaspit.
I do have Rockaspit.
Well, you might be able to take the Rockaspit's usually for talking about beasts and fighting beasts and stuff like that. And you might be able to take your Rockaspit, what you've heard about it. It's not gonna be a great roll, but you can take your Rockaspit and your instinct and try to basically mix a little bit of booze with some of this ink slime and stuff like that, and try to work together a bottle that.
I will attempt that. So
okay.
What am I rolling?
2 dice.
Just the 2?
Just the 2.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can't think of any other thing that would help unless you got a whisper.
Oh, I can help. Was that one out?
Oh, that's a good one. Watch me scrape the ink off the walls.
Just in sign language. Waste not, want not.
What
You do have to say it.
It's a whisper. You gotta whisper it. The words want out.
Do you want to whisper it or do you want to say it? What's the difference?
Saying it makes a thing happen. If you want to burn your whisper, I give you increased effect for it. You're going to roll the same dice, but anything is going to count. Like it's going to count for more.
Okay. Slay.
Waste not, want not.
It's loud. Anybody else? Okay, keep going.
It don't even matter because I rolled a 6.
Nice.
And a 1.
So, but a 6 was only going to get you 1 box filled. You'll wrap up 2. So, erase your 2 marks on your belt.
Yeah.
If anybody else right now, if anybody else wants to do, if anybody else wants to do any salvage or recovery using materials that are available here in the library.
Do I also get rid of my drinking horn? I did not enjoy the thing you just did there.
Sorry, I was thinking.
Stuck his entire finger in his mouth. Hold on. I'll find the answers in the back here. I've just got to go digging for them.
Yes.
Ew. God, that was just miserable.
Okay, so if anybody else wants to salvage or like go resource digging or something like that using the materials here in the room, because he used waste not whatnot, you'll get some sort of twister advantage off of that. You could salvage, you could go.
That seems like a good time to catch up on my rocket spit duo.
That's not the way that.
That's not really that word. What I should have done is let you use rocket spit, but with a cut. But it doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about it.
I'm glad that you didn't do that because that would have been terrible.
Would have been. I still would have let you heal a box because you used the whisper, but you would have taken some sort of consequence.
Well.
Anyway, do you want to do any try to salvage some of the books or anything? Or
Sure. You know what? Sure.
Go looking for any books that are speaking to you.
That's a good idea.
Hey, we love things speaking to us.
You know what? Talking books,
seductively whispering.
Talking books, voids.
Or do you want to use this time to cobble together some sort of fun surprise for the pinwolves coming your way?
I mean, on one hand, that'll be great, but on the other hand, I'm not a nerd. Never mind. I'm gonna cobble together a trap.
If you took instinct and rattle, and either your length of chain or your slab of tallshank bark, you could try to repair the door and give them one less means of easy entrance. Or either the door or here, look at the map. Either the door
or that other shutter.
Or that other one where the tree's getting in. My mouse is locked up. Hang on. You could either, because this one is still not really staying open, and this one is, well, you happen to it. So you could try to repair one of those with either using up the slab of tallshank bark or the length of chain plus iron and instinct and it's probably still iron and rattle. If you want to repair it and get ready for the pinwolves, or you could try to salvage something and say, screw it, I don't care where they come in from.
Yeah, I want some books. See if they have any magic words.
You literally just said, "Oh, I'm not a nerd."
Instinct and
Nerd's cool.
Instinct and scavenge.
Okay, cool. What's my instinct?
Instinct.
My instinct is a 1.
The edges are always 1. Scavenge is a 2, so you're rolling 3 dice.
That's a complication. Give me some funny words, Magic Man.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
That was the reference I was going for. 3, 2, and 5. Conflict. No, really?
Yeah. Chart or salvage?
Choose carefully now, boy.
Salvage.
Okay. The strips of water-stained leather.
Strips of water stained.
Weird.
Doesn't really matter what it is exactly, but
It does to us.
okay. Zoe, what are you doing with your moments that you have here? Figure out how you're going to get out of
I
here.
can board up the doors if I try. I think.
How?
Secrets wrapped in thorns.
What's it called?
Secrets wrapped in thorns.
You could absolutely do secrets wrapped in thorns if you want to.
Just wrap the
You
whole
don't need to
thing.
roll. That's just a whisper. Are you speaking it or shouting it?
Speaking. Wait.
Wait, what does shouting do?
It's a really big effect, but it is also random.
It's not exactly random. That's not quite right.
The Firefly decides what the coolest thing would be. And the Firefly turns into the Dungeon AI.
And our Firefly is a masochistic 20+ year GM.
That's
No, sadistic.
No.
yes,
40.
yes.
He's not arguing with the sadistic part.
I'm just saying I've been doing it for 40 years. Not well.
You learn to
Been doing
enjoy
this
it.
since you were 13.
I've been doing it since I was 10. I got my first D&D books when I was 10. All right.
You're right.
Whispers. Whispers. You can use whispers to discover secret information related to their wording by whispering them under your breath. Twist the narrative of the world in your favor by speaking them aloud, which allows you to create a twist related to the whisper, or force a change in the world by shouting them, creating a high impact twist that is completely out of your control.
Do it! Do it! Shout it! Shout it! Shout that bit! Shout that thing!
Here's the thing. Remember that funny little track we have that goes something along the lines of this manor is not entirely
Yes! Excitement!
No, listen. It's Thorns. It adds support to the building. It'll get rid of a box. I promise.
Do it for the vibe. Do it for the story.
No, do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine.
Like,
fine.
I'm going.
Fine.
Alright.
So let me get it. So what does this look like? You're standing there in the middle of the library. You're looking at the
Bucket we
door.
ball! Bucket we ball! I'm so excited.
So what does this look like? What do you do? Are you're in the library? What do you do? Do
So
the wings spread out? Do you really
Gosh.
take in a deep breath? What do
I
you do?
get just like a little green glow
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Around you?
around me.
Oh, boy.
And what do you say? Listen, hey, I want to make this clear. You are burning a whisper with a shout. It should be epic. You don't have to hedge your bets. If you say that you levitate off the ground and start spinning, okay. I just want to know what it is that you do so I can roll off that, okay?
A shell of thorns encapsulates you temporarily.
May I suggest,
Like-
as you are a Mothran, mayhaps a cocoon of thorny branches?
I was just about to say that weird little emotionless cocoon guy from the good place. Love
So what do you wrap, is there a cocoon of thorns?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Nobody is going to like this, but everyone is going to think it's awesome. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
No.
Does the
but
mansion
yes.
start falling?
Huh?
Does the mansion start falling? Do we break it?
This man may not be entirely.
So what are the actual words that you say?
Inner hide may be torn, but keep these secrets wrapped in thorns.
Does it echo?
Yes.
Okay.
That it. Yes.
And
So
your
it
eyes-
echoes and you kind of rise up and then your wings kind of fold around you and then the whisper itself, the whisper itself starts up. You've seen a dust devil. Imagine that in a room full of paper. Okay? So the paper is whirling around and then it's whirling faster and faster and it's compressing in on Saturniidae, but it's also everywhere else in the room. So I want you two to each take a point of keen damage,
Wait.
unless you're immune to keen.
Yep.
You're immune to keen.
I am resistant to keen.
That means that the first 2 points that you take don't happen, so you've got basically 2 points of keen.
Wait,
armor.
are we taking paper cut damage?
Yes, you're taking you're in a whirlwind of papers.
So the reason why I'm resistant to keen damage is because of my coat, so I like to
So you're like,
like very real.
okay. So this thing comes around her and kind of forms like a papery sort of cocoon, like almost like more like a wasp nest than a moth nest.
Oh my god, wasps. I don't like wasps. Wasps.
Oh, what if it's not even a cocoon? It's like it starts as a cocoon and then it like starts making more layers like a rose almost.
What?
Yeah. Well, no, it's going to be more like the thorny brambles and stuff like that. And then the
But
thorns.
at the center it's rose and then it starts thorny out.
I want you to understand that nothing about this is going to feel like a rose.
Okay.
So I don't want to start any rose imagery because everything about this is going to be painful. So I want to stick with the thorny branches and the thorns.
Cool. Are we all about to get stabbed to death?
Super a lot. So
A lot. I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay.
Hey, I'm
Cool.
I'm immune to spike.
yeah, we're you may be immune to some of the damage that's going to happen. All right, so the papers wrap around her and seem to harden, and the hardened shell thickens, and the thickened shell looks like the spiny branches of like a thorn bush kind of thing, and then the spiny branches themselves get the proper thorns sticking out of them. Zoe, take 2 points of spike damage.
How do I do that?
So, do you have anything that makes you immune to spike damage?
Check your aspects.
Do you have anything that gives you like armor protection?
Probably not.
Like resistant to this, resistant to that? I think you're the only one that doesn't have resistance to anything.
Complete.
Okay. So, the answer to your question is you need to mark 2 marks on one of the tracks on one of your aspects.
Can you like split?
Are they 2 on the same aspect?
Yes.
Or,
It has to be on the same one. So if you take damage, you have to pick a track that's going to go to it. If it runs over that track, then you either take an injury or you take burn on that same track, which is much, much harder to fix.
Can I see?
So, for instance, Zoe, you have in your in the aspects that you have, which is up here, you have elegant wings, chaos dancing, hawk sight, bark peeling ferret, gale flute, and cartographica. Any of those things, you need one of those things you pick and you mark 2. You put marks on 2 of the boxes. It's basically your hit points.
I would probably do your hawk sight, because that's a 4. Right through the eyes, baby. Carl style.
We're gonna say it's like the thorns are poking at your body and your face, and you're like having to flinch back and protect your eyes from inside. It's also growing outward. All right, and then there's a moment of complete and utter stillness. You don't hear the howling of the pinwolves anymore. You don't feel really anything. You don't hear anything out there. The whole world nearby is silent as the entire area around the manor goes shit. And then the cocoon of thorny brambles bursts out in all directions, growing at just an exponential like speed, like time lapse way toward any source of light that it can see that's like sunlight. So every crack in any of the walls, any crack in the door, any cracks in the shutters, any of that kind of stuff. So, both of you, 2 points of spike damage.
Nope.
Still with the coat?
Yep.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Everybody get down! Get under my coat!
Meanwhile, I just get stabbed and proceed to feel nothing.
Well, you've got the
You're
wood.
tough. You've got metal and very old, rough wood.
No, this is the spirit stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, the body may be damaged.
Yeah, he's got damage resistance from a lot of stupid directions. It's great.
It's almost like Baymax coated of like, oh, there goes my arm. Well, I'm gonna have to fix that later. Just like, not even concerned.
So these are the thorns going by you guys. All right. And then, so in some of the directions...
This is a good coat.
I love this coat. All right.
Okay,
So,
can I just say a thing real quick? I just sort of pop my face off. Oh, that sucks. Luckily, I got a replacement
face.
and I just put that on.
okay. We get a shot of the outside of the building as the pinwolves are forced to leap away from these things growing out and grabbing. They twine around like creeping Jenny, like invasive vine species around the tallshank, around the branches, around the bole of the tree, and they're growing so hard that they're pushing the whole building out away from the building.
How do we leave?
This manor man.
And the chains start to give on the building as the thorns are pushing the thing so hard away from the tree that they're straining the thing, and the chains start to go. So you've got pieces of ceiling falling down, and then the building itself starts to go. Now, the only good news about this is the fact that the vines that are in the building are also wrapped around parts of the tree. So while the building is falling and actually falling, it's still being held up, but the chains are no longer supporting it, but the vines still are, so hooray!
Not falling yet, but we will.
Everyone take 2 points of blunt damage. That's all 3 of you.
Nope.
Are you serious?
You're kidding me.
You've already been doing the stuff that I've been doing.
You sure it's not serrated?
It's blunt.
Well,
Because this is the building literally turning sideways and you slamming into the walls, and then you hit and it's like, it's okay. It's bookshelves with books on it. It's really, actually, it's not that bad. And then the bookshelves from the other side of the room land on you.
It just breaks against
it's
me.
not that good of a ghost.
They're old and rotten, so it's not like being,
Slush.
it's not like being slammed between two bricks, but they're still very heavy.
Okay.
Zoe, you're inside the thing that the entire building is hanging from, and basically you're inside of a fist, and then the fist gets punched by a building. So you need to mark 2 more boxes for blunt. Where do you think that happened? I'm saying elegant wings, but you know.
So my excuse for marking my short spear instead of my coat is that I imagine that she had it strapped on her back.
And then
So hitting the thing probably splintered or cracked it in some way.
imagine
Yeah.
getting splintered.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
It's a
Sean,
really good coat.
originally you took keen damage, and you resisted that because of your what?
By a thread.
By a thread, the fact that you're essentially a spirit in a thing, and then you took spike damage and you resisted that because you
By a thread.
God damn.
because you're basically a spirit.
Yeah.
This it's funny is this aspect that's giving him all these resistances has literally 1 point in the actual aspect track.
Because if I take any damage, it's spirit damage, and my soul leaves.
It's salt damage, but sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not done.
What?
Oi. Brandish thy dukes, rapscallion.
So
Yeah, you gotta hit me with.
Zoe took 2 to elegant wings, took 2 to hawk sight. It's a little confusing. We haven't taken damage before. I understand it. And it's possible that Sean will be equally confused because he still hasn't taken any damage.
I understand the mechanics of the game.
You've also read the entire book like 4 times.
I
so-
read the parts that are interesting. That's like
Yeah, he's
to a
actually
child's brain. That's a 4th.
he's not actually reading the rules. He's reading all the lore sections, which is very Sean
Listen.
branded.
There's a giant lion plant that hunts in pairs that I think is really cool.
Fair.
I have read the plant section of the dangerous things that you could fight multiple times.
I feel like that's just necessary for character development.
Exactly.
Okay, so Sean, since you are, tell me why you're not taking blunt damage. I know the aspect, but tell me what's happening that's keeping you from slamming into the walls as much. You say it's because it's by a thread. Are you literally like manifesting spirit-like energy? Are you glowing like a ghost?
I'm propping myself up by a ghost threads.
So you're kind of,
I'm propping myself up by a wispy blue poles.
are you, I'm picturing this idea that there's maybe like almost ghost limbs or something that are holding you away from the walls or
Yes,
something.
that.
Are there more than 2?
Yes, of course. There's like, right, what's 2 times 4?
8?
Why
Really
don't?
stupid.
Why would you
There's
answer
8.
that? Because he needs.
Because I needed to make sure that I knew the answer.
There's 8. There's 8.
You asked me why, and I went, oh, is it 16?
There's 8. There's 8.
I don't have to take any math classes
So
in college.
there's 4 different pairs of ghost limbs kind of reaching out of him in various directions and keeping him away from the walls and deflecting some of the blunt damage. And the blunt.
Haley, do you recognize one of the pairs?
Definitely. That is my
Grandma.
my grandma's very flashy wedding ring
You said
in her
what?
hand.
You said my grandma's what? And I was like, webbed hand? Like I was.
It's a very...
There is a left hand.
We told her it was so stupid to wear such a big flashy rock on her finger because somebody was going to take it, she was going to drop it, and she was going to lose it, or the gem itself was going to fall out, but she was like, no, you don't understand. Your grandfather bought this ring for me. I'm going to wear it till the day I die, and she did.
Yeah, can confirm.
Again.
Why do you think it's still on the arm, man?
Can confirm. She did wear it till the day she died.
One of them is definitely webbed, just like spider webs. One of the pairs definitely is spider webs. And there's also stitches.
Okay,
So, you know.
I'm down. I'm down with this. I like it. Anchors are weird.
You know what?
I've never done that.
So now The house is this building is hanging. I'd say it's about halfway down from where you guys climbed up from. So it's about 100 feet down, but still 100 feet to fall before it hits the tangle and the thrash. Hanging by, and the thorns are still going. They're also growing out of the iron, out of the tallshank next to you. It's like around the whole area. We'll say the wolves aren't actually a factor. I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be a fight, and then the situation has changed.
Yeah, you know what I put in text in preparation for this? Oh boy, a combat scene! Wahoo!
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
It is a combat scene, but it's more PvE than PvP.
No, it is PvP. She did this.
Yeah, you're fighting against Zoe's whisper. So Zoe is trapped inside of the thorny bundle. It's still growing and it's starting to fill the room. It's kind of like you know how you get those traps where the walls are collapsing with the spikes? It's like that, but reversed, because it's the ball of thorny spikes in the middle that's growing out to crush you against the outer walls.
Do you know what time it is?
What do you do?
Jagsaw time. Careful, Jagsaw. We're trying to remove Saturniidae without damaging her. But go ham with the plants. Just not the ones supporting the actual building.
What does the Jagsuri do?
Jagsaw cut.
Hewing or serrated.
Hewing or serrated.
And I also have Wild Harvest, which treats conflicts as triumphs against plants.
You know, I would consider this a plant.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, so I got Instinct because this is all muscle memory at this point. I've got 3 in Hack, that seems pretty obvious.
And
I got
Jagsuri.
a Jagsaw, that's another one. And can I do Wild Harvest?
No, because Wild Harvest is doing
Oh,
something.
that's wild. Yeah, never mind.
Well, no,
I'm wildly harvesting the small.
Wild Harvest is doing something else in this, which is turning your 4s and 5s into 6s. What are you trying to do?
Just excavate them off.
Without.
Excavate the moss.
Without.
I would like to not damage the flimsy, little, easily step on a pole bug.
I just want to point out that your whisper not only got you away. So, Zoe, please don't feel like you didn't accomplish anything. It's because you basically took the wolves completely out of the scenario and also got you guys about halfway down to the ship again.
Woo! Let's go.
Downside is, and also you kind of took the Librico Ray out of the picture because it's
gonna have a hard time getting to
You
it.
can take this
not
ink from
impossible.
my...
It can come down the thorny
I've had a
trail.
hard time, not impossible.
You can take this ink from my multiple corpses.
Okay, so that's 5 dice, no cut.
Woohoo!
This is gonna be
Oh wait, actually, no, wait. Sorry, I take
No
that.
cut, but
I take that back. Actually, there's good because you don't want to. It isn't just you hacking at this thing. You want to extract her safely. That's going to be 1 cut. And the reason I say that is because here's how this works. When you are say you're going to shoot somebody, and you say I'm going to shoot him. No cut. I want to shoot him specifically in the right shoulder so that he drops the thing he's holding in his hand. That's a cut. So he's doing a precision attack kind of thing.
there's a cut on this cut.
There's a cut on this cut. So roll, cut one, cut your best dice.
Cut that cut.
Okay, I
So
got
the 6 is gone.
2, 5, 2, and 1. So
All right.
that's a mixed success with a twist.
Who's taking the acid damage, you or her?
Wait, but doesn't he get a success because of his other skill? Because he's dealing with plants?
Fuck.
Yeah!
Looked, bitch!
Bitch.
Also, I'm resistant to acid.
And the thing was, if this was a regular player who was coming in here and going through the rules and coming up with a character who was tweaked out like this, I would be a little bit annoyed. I helped him build this guy.
You did this.
Because I knew he was going to be waiting in the melee, and I was like, you need to be able to take hits from practically anything, and he can.
I am your Frankenstein.
Yes, absolutely.
Frankenstein's monster. Sorry, nerds.
Okay, so Kelly, you're absolutely correct. He got a 5, but because of Wild Hunt, his 5
Harvest.
functionally, Wild Harvest, his 5 functions as a 6. So when the Krezerin starts spurting out of these,
I just shove it back in.
you literally like grab the thorny I'm gonna say vines, even though they're much more woody than vines, and literally like sort of direct it away.
I should
like
have visited this brand new one important.
The world's scariest fire hydrant.
like well no, he's like stepping on the vines and stuff to direct. So it's the Crezerin. Oh, this is good. The Crezerin is like oozing out onto the floor.
This manor may not be entirely stable.
This manor is becoming less stable by the minute, actually.
Just wanted to like cut down the tree.
I'm just gonna say that particular thing is pretty much, it's got one box left in it.
Awesome, cool.
Cool.
Did we just break it with
No.
the whole acid on the floor thing?
Not yet. That's
This manor is actually pretty stable considering the tomfuckery we have done to this manor.
So the wood of the floor where the Crezerin is spreading is going black. The carpet is getting a instantaneous spread of fungus and mushrooms and stuff like that. And
I thought it was gonna catch on fire, and I was like, "Oh,
Crezerin
God,
doesn't
no."
cause fire. Crezerin is incredibly flammable and burns like napalm forever. Where the Crezerin is hitting the carpet, burst of spores, or burst of mushrooms, then followed by burst of spores. Where the Crezerin is hitting the books,
Is it true?
new thorn bushes are bursting out of where the books are at.
Whole jungle in a library. I didn't know they had theming.
Yeah, it's going to make the situation pretty bad. Zoe, you're seeing light as he pulls this thing apart, and there's like Crezerin drip. There's still some getting on his hands and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem to be immediately affecting him, although the wood is going black. But you have big,
It's
heavy...
fine. I have replacements.
Escaping.
Escaping?
Shove past me.
All right, I would like you, Zoe, I would like you to roll, give me Grace and Vault.
Oh, are the bugs okay? Are
bugs?
our two Crezerin buddies? Not Crezerin, Celicrae.
Celicrae? Yes. They have basically... You know the bit in Into the Multiverse where all the Spider-Men like go up into the corner of the dorm room? Mm-hmm. They kind of did that.
Together again.
Anything else?
Do you have anything of your assets that would help you that are
Aspects.
aspects that would help you? Let me look at your stuff.
I'm gonna correct you every time.
I know. Thank you. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have, I gave you Vault and I gave you Grace. That's 3. I will give you an extra dice for Chaos Dancing, but because you can use your wings and your feet to kick and cut yourself loose out of this, to help cut yourself loose. But if you don't get a triumph, you will take some massive damage.
Not
You will. So here's the thing. You can if you don't use Chaos Dancing, you're rolling 3 dice. If you do decide that you're going to apply Chaos Dancing, you get to roll 4 dice, but the consequences involve getting Crezerin on you. So 3 dice or 4 dice with a more dangerous side effect. Rolling 4, hoping for a 6.
roll them all at once.
5, 5, 3, 1.
5, 5, 3, 1. Okay. So I need you to find a place to take. I think you should take it on your Chaos Dancing. Take 2 marks from Crezerin as you get some on the edges of your wings from cutting your way out
Ouch.
with your razor sharp wings.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
What's that?
On Chaos Dancing or on Elegant Wing?
Probably.
Take your pick. Chaos Dancing or Elegant Wings, but you have to pick one or the
if
other.
your elegant wings go to full, then probably on your chaos.
There.
Dancing.
Yeah, I would take it on the
Not-
Chaos Dancing. Spread that thing out. Spread that stuff out.
Spread that thing.
It's a good thing that she's got healing.
I
That
do?
You have tend. Tend is a healing thing.
I also have 10.
You can't do it in... Oh, you're the one with 10. I'm sorry. I got... Never mind, Zoe. I got
I can
confused.
tend you. Don't worry.
You're gonna be laid up for a little bit in the hammock going, ow, ow, why does this hurt? Why does this hurt? Why does it hurt whenever...
It's acid, sweetie.
Why does it hurt when the hammock moves? And why is the hammock always moving?
We're on a ship.
We're on a massive.
We're on a crab.
All right.
Okay, so you cut your way out of there with some kicks and some kicks and some slashes. Some of it gets on your wings, some of it gets on your feet. Not the best feeling.
Get on my shoulders.
You're gonna be limping around like an old man the way Sean does right now.
Get on my shoulders.
So the building is sideways, the library is sideways.
As it tends.
Everything is against the far wall, or the downward wall. The building is literally sagging under the weight of itself and starting to go. You guys each get one action before the wall. So what's happening is so I want you to imagine this. Branch, thorny tendrils, building hanging from thorny tendrils, basically, and then a wad of thorny tendrils inside the building. So everything in the building is being held by a non-load bearing wall.
How close?
Everybody gets one action before that wall collapses.
How close are we to the trunk of the tree?
20, 30 feet.
Not a jumpable distance.
Well, anything's a jumpable distance if you don't worry about how far you fall on the way.
Listen, adrenaline. Oh wait, I don't have muscles to be affected by that. Right. I got
So I mean, you can. It's not a not jumpable distance. It's just you're gonna drop during the jump.
Listen, if anything happens, it's probably blunt damage.
You jump and just take the spear and like.
That's what I was thinking about, actually. That's genuinely what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? I might as well just keep
Instincts, vault, and I'd like an extra dice for my spear, please.
Yeah, I think that's what she's doing. It's like she's pulling the thing off her. Just like, it's a terrible idea.
Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're running along the wall because the building is sideways. So you're running along the next room over's wall to jump out through the patio back towards the tree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So instinct, vault, and one extra dice for the thing.
I can only use one skill.
Yes, you can only use one skill.
So I would argue this is very flourished.
I mean, you can roll one or the, I don't care. You can be one or the other, but you can't roll both.
Well, flourish gives me another dice.
Hey, have you tried using Jack 3?
I would kind of like to use flourish, if you don't.
If you want, flourish is what? 3 dice?
Flourish is 2.
Oh, vault is only 1.
Vault's only 1.
I will give you flourish because this is.
There is nothing not performative about running out a balcony and trying to.
Okay, I will give you flourish if you make a sassy comment as you're either about to run or as you're like looking over your shoulder and like leaping out past the balcony and towards the tree. But we need a spicy bon mot.
11th style Geronimo.
Just float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Is that applicable?
Sure.
How? I'm about to float like a butterfly, and then I'm gonna sting like a bee.
I want you to say float like a butterfly, and as you're jumping, sting like a bee.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. How did that quote last 300 years in an apocalypse?
Because there's a lot of butterflies and bees.
The birds of the bee. 6'5".
So 6 with twist.
Okay, with 6. Twist. Write down the whisper, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yes! Let's go.
Just expertly.
It didn't survive for the last 300 years. She has rediscovered the meme. She found the whisper, or rather the whisper found her when she spoke it into the world again.
Wow.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a...
Okay, your spear is embedded into the bark of the tallshank and you are hanging from it and scrabbling for foot and hand holds.
Nailed it!
Oh! Charybdis, what are you doing?
What?
You see, for you,
You
and
don't really have vault or flourish.
Wait, what? No.
Wave walk, you need to use the plants or something like that. I realize the tree's there, but the tree's
Okay,
not
so-
close.
I'm gonna actually use my Jackson. Let's just draw that into the picture. And then I'm gonna use hack. The Jackson is in use once again.
can you use hack?
It's useful against trees.
Hack would be a bit of a stretch. I mean, yeah, you.
Is it 3 dice stretch?
I'm not worried about the dice. I'm worried about it's not about that.
The lore implications.
See, wave walk is brachiate, swing, navigate the wilds. Harvest is chop.
I'm doing that.
I would argue this is navigating the wild.
Alright, then wait, well, I'm willing to trade I'm willing to trade a dice for, like, being reasonable.
I mean, I was gonna give him hack, but I was gonna have him do cut 2.
Well, then you might.
Wave walk is still gonna be cut 1 because you're not. But that's okay. It's
Either way, it's the same result. You're
Oh, hey,
rolling
can
the same amount of dice.
Would this count as would this count as something against a plant?
No, because you're not doing it to attack the
You
plant.
need to shift your You need to shift your action around to not jumping to the tree, but literally like climbing the thorny vine creature.
Indiana Jones swing. You know what? I'll just hold on. Wait, are you considering it?
What do you think? Wait a minute.
I need to know whether or not to commit to
If
this.
your idea is I want to climb out through one of the windows that are above me and chop loose one of the vines and use that to swing over to the tree, sure, you can do that.
Alright, that was heavy wave walk.
That would be wave walk.
Alright, cool. Can I use the Jaggery for gunning the vine loose?
Yes. Instinct, wave walk, jaggery. So he actually grabs the thorny vine and climbs out through one of the shuttered windows, what was the shuttered windows, above, cuts it loose and uses that to swing over to the tree.
Oh, that was so much smarter than what I did.
They're just a deep cackling for like a quick sec. Well,
Anyway.
Santa-like thing.
All right, go.
Alright, cool. Okay, so 2, 6, 3, 3.
Okay.
So that's a triumph with a twist.
All right. Write down
Whatever.
triumph. You're against the tree branch.
Also, if I didn't get a triumph and I just got a conflict, no, I didn't.
You get a. Where's your good sheet? Write down. This is your twist. Specimen.
Fingers are open.
Living thorns.
That's good.
Ooh. Guys, I got this new pet.
It's
Just a writhing mass of thorns.
It's stuck through his hand.
Ooh.
He's got to pull it out. Zoe,
Luckily,
how are you extracting yourself from this house? Because I'll tell you for free, yours is probably the easiest one. Your wings basically let you automatically glide. All you have to do is jump out and just glide down.
Yeah, look at wings. I have one more box left.
So it doesn't matter. You're not going to take any damage to them. They just do what they do.
Oh.
You can literally just jump out through the same thing that she jumped out, but instead of trying to make it to the branch, like she leaps out like, here I come, psych, and just
You
can just
flyless tiny
you can
human.
just glide down in circles down below. Although you want to make them really wide circles because when the house falls, you don't want to be under it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that because gliding down is just something you can do.
Do you want to play a little?
I just do that.
Thanks.
Do you want to play a little flute ditty to show off?
All right, no, that's for flying, not gliding down.
Flute Megalovania?
Okay, look out. Zoe,
Yes, me.
do you want to just land wherever in amongst the wilds of the sea down below?
Same thing.
Probably not the best idea. Or aim for one of the two ships down there, the Scissor or the Queen Crab's Revenge.
Or you could land on the tree and climb down like the rest of us plebeians. Us ground folk.
It's a ship.
Flightless birds, you may call us.
How dare you assume I spent any time on the ground?
I'm feeling a little inferior right now.
You did great. What are you talking about?
I know.
I gave you a damn whisper for your move.
Aw, shucks. Oh, it's a pretty point.
Zoe, what are you doing? Are you gonna try and aim for one of the boats? Because that's better than landing in amongst the thrash and the
Yeah,
tangle.
I'll survive. I'm gonna.
You have no leaf blocks,
You should probably try to land on the queen's crab because you're.
Also, you
Otherwise-
can steer it very easily. Then
Queenie.
you might want to get the queenie out so the damn house doesn't land on it.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
What did I call it? Hermit? What are they called? Hermit
Hermit hole crabs.
hole crabs.
You,
Yeah.
you don't want a new hole for it.
Yeah. You don't want this to be.
That thing is infected. It's infested.
Okay.
They're like a sloth.
Zoe, give me a roll of grace, flourish, and your elegant wings of 4. Or is your flourish a 4? Or sorry, is your flourish 2?
You said Grace.
Grace, flourish, and one extra one for your elegant wings.
So that is 4.
4. Roll 4.
It's a touch grass if you know that reference.
Everyone knows the reference to much grass.
No, not the other thing. Hey, you got a twist.
1, 2, and 3, and double threes.
Okay, I can't hear you.
1, 2, and double threes.
Ooh,
1.
how?
Do you want to
Not 1, 2.
do you want to talk about it?
No.
You get hit by the house on your way down. you were going to perfectly land on the thing, and then you just got hit by a building. bus from Mean Girls taking out Regina George.
Oof.
You're in an isekai now.
Because there's one vine still there, so it doesn't fall straight down, it swings. None of this is going to happen, I just think it's hilarious.
Why is there a bug?
All right, I'm gonna give you a temporary aspect.
Ooh, what? How did
This man
I roll that?
Don't worry.
Ass.
Don't worry.
A temporary aspect. This isn't a good aspect.
It's a bad aspect. This is an ass aspect. Ass.
All right. So do you
The
see where you have a thing for temporary aspects?
Temporary tracks.
Temporary tracks. That's it. So the house goes plummeting past you.
Temporary aspect. Hit by a house.
The house goes plummeting past you. One of the vines tries to grab you. It gets you around the arm.
Grabbing line.
It gets you around the arm, and the thorns in this particular vine, because it's a fast mobile vine, are smaller, and it wraps around and then tears loose again, and it leaves like bare open, like a wound all the way around. But
Whoops,
the
there
vines
goes
have
my
been
flesh.
dripping. We're still oozing with
Glycerin.
Crezerin.
Burning acid.
So we have a temporary poisoned with 3 boxes on.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do?
Track length. Is the track length 3 or 3 X's?
3 that you need to clear out. So you immediately feel woozy, and your arm is just burning with the intense life that is impacting the Crezerin. So let me see. Yes, just like that. Thank you. That is a lot of, yeah. And then put a little check there next to injury. You can put down Crezerin poison if you want to, but you can just say poison is fine.
What?
So you are already
Goes
woozy and kind of halfway passing out and stuff when you land on the ship. The boat, now you, almost in a haze, you see what happens because the house hits the edge of the rift. I say house. The building, the library, it was the library. The library hits the edge of the rift right next to the One Armed Scissor. And more branches and parts of the Wildsea tear as the house tears through it. And the ship, the One Armed Scissor, begins to tip and slide down into the rift. And you can see this thing starting to, the thing is going and going. And it's like the most slow motion Titanic sinking over the course of 10 minutes sequence. But it's basically, do you want to try to stop it with your ship?
No.
No.
Don't try to stop it with Queenie. Don't you dare.
We are not losing.
That ship's a lost cause anyway.
We're not losing our
It wasn't
crabs and boy.
It wasn't, I mean, structurally,
Now
The crew consists of one spider lady.
that's fair. I'm not saying you need to rescue the ship. I'm saying it is a fully functional ship that if you were to rescue it is a fully functional ship. However, right now, the one, like, you guys are climbing down, she's pretty beat up, and you guys don't have like harpoon guns. You do have rigging and ropes and stuff, so you could theoretically try to roll, God, what would it be? Tilt, I guess, to keep trying to hold the thing.
I mean, we do have a good tilt.
You do have a good tilt. There'd probably be some cut, and I don't know. Or Zoe, do you just want to like basically try to get the ship, the queen crab? Do you want to get Queenie back away from this thing so you're not pulled into the rift as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not saving any lives.
I don't mean to be selfish, but it's Queenie.
You're not saving any lives to save the ship.
Yeah, if there were people on it, it'd be different. But this is Queenie we're talking about, and I'm emotionally attached.
Ship should have been living. It would have walked away.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
They just should have had a better ship.
Should have had a crab.
Should have had a crab.
Okay. Because it's late, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. You guys do eventually get down. The lines are no longer there that you use to cross over to the rift, but you do have lines and rigging. And Queenie is able to work her way around to the other side of the tallshank. And if you guys work your way, the downside is you guys have to work your way all the way around the tallshank, which is like walking around to the other side of a 4-block, office building. But it also means you're not next to the rift, and you can work your way down far enough that you can get close to Queenie. And with Queenie's tilt, she can get very close up to the tree, and you guys can make your way back down to the thing. Something about watching the ship, though, fills you with a certain amount of dread. I don't know if you take mire from it, but the fact that the ship went down into the rift whole and still functional is worrisome to you. It fills you with, it's almost like a PTSD kind of a,
Who, Sean?
yeah,
The ship.
the person who used to be a ship. I don't know if you take Meyer from this or not. What do you think?
Emotion damage.
Visions of my past death are difficult to banish.
It does try.
Something about a ship being pulled down into the
Into
thing.
the unknown. Sorry.
Something that's not bad though, but something about a ship being pulled down into the sink. Yeah, I think yeah.
I think you're mired.
Okay, until I clear this, there are can I say spirit bees swirling around? Just
You can say whatever like thing you want to, like color you want for it. Also functionally, if the visions of your previous death haunt you kind of thing,
one of my crew.
if it affects you, then you're cutting 2 just for that, aside from anything else that's happening. So you're going to want to deal with that mire as you guys are going. All right, so for the sake of whatever, we're going to wrap this up. You guys make your somewhat triumphant, at least knowledgeable way back to 3 Masks. It takes, you guys got here in about 2 days. It takes more like 2.5 to get back, but because you're taking it very easy. Karshaw is able to help, and he's actually relatively whole. His sister had to shed the skin to make it out of the house, so she's still reconstituting herself. What's that?
No, she's just gonna husk herself out.
It's you basically,
Yeah, exactly.
all the spiders basically abandon their skin and have to like
Yeah, kill you know.
That's like an injury that takes like an extra, like almost like a little side quest to heal because it's a burn. You can treat Saturniidae for some of her, probably her poison first, because the Krezerin is not a great time.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah.
I love the part. My brain, when the vine came down, my human brain went, oh, there goes my skin. Oh.
What color does the fur come back in on your arm when it heals? Whatever color your fur usually is, what color is the fur when it grows back in? Because it's not the same color.
No.
Does it come back in white? Like, is there like basically like a big old band around your arm that's like white instead of round?
Wait, okay.
That looks amazing, by the way.
Okay, wait, hear me out for a sec. It comes in white, but it gets covered in a small layer of moss immediately, so it comes back green functional.
It comes back green moss. There's moss on top of the white fur.
So white fur with moss on it, like a sloth gets moss on it.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. You covered the arm with the sleeve, so it doesn't matter.
I don't have to draw it. For that, I'm thankful.
It's funny.
I don't have to draw that because I wouldn't.
So you've got a few things. What got beat up on you?
My spear.
Okay.
I probably just need to replace the handle, like the shaft
Functionally all of this is essentially healing. You can treat yourself lots of different ways. You can use the steeps. You can use the brew skill or the concoct skill. You can use cook to heal. You can use treat to heal. Treat's the best way.
Probably rattle though for the spear.
Yeah, rattle would be how you would repair the spear. So you can make an argument. It's great because you can like go, because I took the damage to this. You can also say it's just your physical whatever. The aspects are more abstract and it's just tracking physical damage that you took. Saturniidae certainly got beat up more than anybody.
I lost another face.
You're scarred and stuff. You're scarred and scraped up in the way that an old wooden table is scarred beat up. The table is still entirely fine. It just looks a little bit more.
When I hit the tree, I lost another face. Luckily, I always carry 3 every time.
Oh, just a belt of faces.
Yes, actually.
Well,
Terrible.
They'll say faces, wooden masks, you know.
Yeah, it's just 2
Functionally faces.
It's just a circle with 2 holes.
He wears them like a loincloth, so there's just like this mask. Like
No, I actually
codpiece position.
No, I actually prefer that less.
I prefer that less. I wear them as knee pads.
No,
Elbow pads. There's masks on. There's faces on every joint.
no, it's on the back. My shirt.
It's on your back, so
But it's booty cheeks.
booty cheeks are 2 masks. Guys, listen.
That was a good joke.
I would like to thank you. This was a lot of fun. We make it back to Three Masks. People are relieved that they know what happened, but they're very... The general vibe is like, but that was our main library ship delivery. Like, what are we going to do? Like, so you brought in some books, that'll help, but it's kind of like one of their main supply things for the thing that they primarily do all of their, dealing with and stuff like that is not coming this year. So it's like being in a farming town where nobody's crops came in. So there's a little bit of concern there, but they celebrate the fact that
at least one came back.
Karshaw's sister was found. At least people know what happened. They're also... Do you say anything about the Librico Ray? Because otherwise they're like, oh wait, the Manor's there? We could just go get more books from the Manor.
Yes. She tells people, we, a lot of stuff went down. I really wouldn't recommend going. There's creatures infesting the whole place. There's a ray, all this stuff.
There's a pack of pinwolves.
And I really, it's kind of crazy what happened while we were there, so they might not still be there, but I wouldn't risk it. I'm not going back.
There's
The library fell down.
Yeah, there's a thing that, well, that isn't the only place that there's books there, but a library. But there's a thing there that feeds on books. There's a pack of pinwolves, and you know for certain that at least some marauders know the place was there because they were
there.
They were there. So yeah.
I would leave it. It's not safe, and maybe check in on it in a couple years.
Okay.
Is it?
Don't go there right now.
So now we're going to do this thing properly. One more milestone that we remember. What milestone do you guys remember from the end of this thing?
Yump.
What's that?
Big yump.
Oh, you that's right. You got a whisper, didn't you?
I did get whisper.
Float.
Like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Charybdis, what is your thing that you want to recall for this?
I watched a boat sink, and now I have ghost bees floating around me.
Ghost what?
Ghost bees.
Bees?
Yeah, the Celicrae on the
bees.
crew was made out of bees.
I don't like Celicrae. It's because I have a visceral hatred of most bugs. Celicrae make me extremely uncomfortable.
Firefly Celicrae would be cool though.
That would be cool.
You would not believe your eyes. 10 billion fireflies.
10,000 fireflies.
Found
Trapped in my sack of a skin. They scream from within.
Surrounded by spectral bees. All right, and Saturniidae, what do you remember from this?
Ow, my skin.
Crezerin burn.
Resin do burn.
burning acid poison.
All right, you guys have a lot of milestones and you haven't spent anything on it, so we'll talk about that later. Listen, Kelly is going back to school next month. That is technically true. In the next month, you are going back to school. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with this next. If nothing else, we have a good stopping point here. I thought about a lot of cool things we could do. We could keep going.
Yeah.
Because the Librico Ray is still out there.
And I intend to chop that tree down into the most fashionable.
A boat has been lost down in the sink and may not be super happy about that.
Oh!
You may not believe your eyes.
You would
10,000 angry flies are trying to eat your eyes.
Luckily, I have spares. They're just gold.
Anyway, so we could do that. I was talking to Kaylee about the idea of like, if you guys like ended up falling into the rift or something like that, then going back and making yourselves up as the inexperienced characters, leveling all the way back up so we learn enough about your characters to find out how you survived falling into the rift. That would be cool. Or we could just carry on the way we were doing, or do something else. We could do something else too. That's cool too.
I would just like to carry on.
I hope Kelly had some very good feedback on the game early on, that it was feeling a little bit easy. I'm hoping that this felt a little bit more like a normal game challenge like me. Like I got my handle on the rules, so we got up to the normal.
Doys.
Am I beating you up at the typical level to which you have become accustomed?
Are we
good.
sufficiently in the dystopian wasteland?
I mean, Zoe, I'm going to ask you specifically, do you feel as though you got beat up sufficiently this session?
I do feel that you should.
Kaylee, I appreciate that you stuck with it even though it wasn't initially your vibe.
So
Hopefully it paid off a little bit.
listen, I vibe with Corey. Good characters is all I need.
Yeah.
And I make good characters.
You know what I think of in hindsight a little bit with this game? If I want to go like, so stars and wishes, I need to set up, we kind of decided not to do any kind of undercrew. And I like the fact that we started to like collect an undercrew. But as in Masks, the game works better if you guys have NPCs to play with. You know what I mean? And the problem is if you're in a ship and you're sailing and never running into any, you keep meeting new people, but like between those things, you don't have people that you're interacting with. You don't get a big thing that you especially do a lot of your play against, is playing against NPCs and stuff. So I using this thing to like go out away from all of civilization and not interact with other people gets hard.
Yeah.
Unless you guys are doing roleplay with each other.
People to care about.
Yeah, you got to have people that you're interacting with.
I'm struggling.
That's fine. Try to focus on this. So thank you for sticking with that. I've learned some stuff too. I've gotten a better understanding of the system, partly by building a bunch of flowcharts to show how this stuff works for myself. And I love the ship that you guys came up with. I love the fact that we made up the ship and then found out like 4 sessions later that it's actually like canonically sound because they have these kind of crabs in the rules. That's
And you know,
cool.
they're the type they make tree shanty. It's so big they make songs out of it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's pretty cool. Sean, I really appreciate that you spent a lot of time like basically digging into the book for the lore and stuff like that. I think that's really
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, if it's been a long time since we've done any Wildsea and stuff, you could just have a video of me reading the plant section of the beasts you can find.
And
I'm not joking.
yeah, it's all good. I'm just really I'm happy that we got to do this summer.
Chuffed to bits.
This is chuffed to bits.
Positively chuffed to
I'm
bits.
chuffed to bits.
I'm chuffed to bits with
I
you.
throw your channel.
I've been watching.